Good morning and welcome to the County of Berrien on this beautiful day. We are certainly blessed to live where we live, even in spite of a little liquid sunshine. We are going to call this meeting to order. As a reminder, please silence or turn off your electronic devices. Any materials that you wish to have distributed to the board, please do so by giving it to our Sergeant of Arms, which is Commissioner Kern. And then if you wish to address the board, please do so at the appropriate times by going to the podium, stating your name, jurisdiction, and then you have 2 minutes to speak with the board. With that, we will call roll.
Bell.
Here.
Curran.
Here.
Freeling.
Here.
Harrison.
Here.
Hinkleman. Majeric.
Here.
Ott. Here. Pittsburgh.
Here.
Ballrath.
Here.
Werfel. Here. Yarborough.
Present.
Elliott. Vice Chair, we have 10 present and 2 absent.
Thank you. We have a quorum. With that, I am moving into the agenda for approval of the minutes, October 19th. I'll entertain that motion.
Sure.
Moved by Commissioner Volrath. Is there support? Support by Commissioner Ott. Any discussion, changes? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. All right, minutes are approved. Requisition review.
Good morning. Does anybody have any questions about the requisitions on the list? All right, thank you.
For full disclosure, I am at the 10:30 meeting abstaining from requisition 67136 for Rev Excavating in the amount of $320,765 out of an abundance of caution. While that is moving its way through, we're going to move on to scheduled discussion, and we have our Road Department Director, Mark Heiliger, here.
Madam Chair, before Mark gets started, I'm just going to remind the board, Mark is going to present. Staff has encouraged Mark to move at a somewhat speedy pace, just noting that you do have a closed session that you have to get to.
Sure.
If there are questions from the board, we can happily answer them. I can also have Mark stay and hit any additional questions that you may have in committee. So I'm not asking you to have no questions. I'm just saying, we'll be keeping a close eye on the clock.
So be concise in your
Yes, please.
questions. Sure. All right, with that. Tearing up the room.
I know.
Okay.
My apologies.
You're fine.
So, good morning, everyone. In accordance with the new standard, I was told, I'm going to start with a quick dad joke. So where do dads store their jokes? In a database. Oh, okay. So just for reference, this Tuesday, the 24th of October, we conducted our township meeting. So we brought all the townships together at the Berrien County Conference Room adjacent to the Health Department. And what I'm presenting you is a condensed version of that slideshow. The information hasn't changed, but I moved it around to get in accordance with the time schedule I need to meet. So I'll start with our mission statement: to maintain a county road system that is safe and convenient for public travel. This mission is carried out by a skilled, hardworking staff. We went over legal compliance. The big takeaway here is that we have 1,477.71 miles of county road to maintain. And then we go into a year in review. So last year, primary roads and federal roads, we conducted repair or reconstruction of 29.68 miles. The graph on the left will divvies those miles up by percentage of the type of fix. For local roads and subdivisions, we conducted 74.61 miles, and the chart on the left is broken up the same way. Which leads us to, we completed 104.29 miles around the county, which accounts for 7.1% of the total mileage, at a cost of $16,300,000. We took the townships through the PACER ratings. This is our current PACER rating for primary roads. And this is the primary road PACER trend that RoadSoft gives us. So the takeaway from this chart is if conditions remain the same, it projects out to 2033 where we'll be at with PACER, if conditions and costs remain the same. This is the local road PACER distribution. The takeaway from here, I know there's a lot of red on the slide and red is bad, but we're starting to see it level off. So, and we expect to see it trending upward in the future. This is the same chart from before, only with the attention placed on local roads. And RoadSoft projects out once again, the conditions remain the same, the conditions and costs remain the same. This is where we'll be. We included this, last year was the first year that we got PACER data on subdivisions. So these two pie charts represent the grading from this year and last year. So you're holding steady on the poor side, losing a little bit, 1% of ground on the good, staying fair. And really what we want is we want good and fair is what we're striving towards. So what does the road department pay for on the primary road system? Everything. All improvements, all maintenance activities, all bridge improvements and bridge maintenance. What does the road department pay for on the local roads? You can see the list right here, but what I would draw your attention to is the asterisk over fluoride. So we came together because there's been a problem with us throughout the summer. We've gone from a policy of providing 1 fluoride treatment countywide to moving to 2 countywide. Now, the townships always have an option to call and request a 3rd or a 4th or a 5th treatment, but that would be at the cost of the township. We talk about why the road department needs the township, right? Ultimately, it's all about public benefit through partnership. It helps all of those assets listed below, or all those endeavors listed below, move and travel safely and rapidly through the county road system. This is the slide on the township, on the matching program. So we transfer $1.5 million from the primary road fund to be focused onto the local road system. The numbers, that chart right there is on your handout that I presented you with that. And each of the townships were provided a copy of that handout, physical copy, and we provide an electronic version of the slideshow. So ultimately, what I'd like to emphasize here is the schedule, right? So each year in September, our raters go out and perform the PACER ratings on the road system. So we usually split it up in the north and south because it's 1,500 miles, and that's all. That takes quite a bit of time to get, but we gather all the PACER ratings. And then on October, right, we prepare a preliminary project list in RoadSoft. Right? RoadSoft helps us optimize our the budget that we have for the roads, and helps us look long-term at increasing the PACER rating. Right? We conduct the township meetings in October. Great things. We're on target now. We conducted it on October 24th. Last year, due to scheduling and a number of other things, we didn't hold the meeting until December 8th, first half of December. November and January, we prepare the final project list, start designing projects, bid projects, and then update the cost based off of bid. So, and then in January and February, we're still bidding projects and we're still updating costs, but as those costs come in for the township, projects that were agreed upon, we send out the agreements. And then the big takeaway here is that in March and April, by April 1st, we need the township agreements back to the road department so that we can start moving. April and May, construction season begins. It started very early this year, right? The initial invoices, we send out for 50% of the agreement amount, right? And then in June through November, we're working, and one change here that we had was we moved to a system where we are going to be invoicing the townships monthly instead of holding all those costs until the end and then billing out 50%. All right, so if a project runs over month to month, the townships can expect an invoice. The service request system. So as you can see, from its implementation to now, the service request system is working. The public is engaged, and I really appreciate their help because it's much better to have everybody's eyes looking, finding problems and reporting them to the road department so that we can get after them rather than just having the 80-some people I have on staff looking and finding problems. Currently this year, we're at 3,066 in climate. Next step. So our next steps is deliver the township packets by the middle of November. These packets include a project list and the maps. Right, and then the townships will notify us about their project selections by the beginning of January. I stress quite a bit with the townships. We are available to discuss the project selections with you at your convenience. Please call Adri and we'll set up an appointment. We can go to the townships, they can come to us. We can do it Zoom, we can even do it telephonically if they like. But really, we're looking to build consensus. This is our contact information and the numerous ways to disseminate information. And finally, what are your questions? And just, so I gotta highlight the picture because I love this picture. So this is the, never mind. Evidently I'm done with the picture.
Sorry, gosh. No pictures for you. It's coming, just a second.
Excuse me, ma'am. Sorry, so I wanted to highlight this picture. So this is Hill Road, the bridge that our maintenance staff installed last year. It got paid about a month ago, late summer, and this is the finished project. This is up in, I believe it's Waterville.
Yes, Bainbridge Township.
All right, we have 2 questions for you.
Absolutely. I think I
Thank
made
you.
time too.
For the presentation, and we'll start with Commissioner Pitchford.
Thank you. Just on a simple delineation between good, fair, and poor, what's a simple way of looking at a road and knowing where it would fall into those categories?
Well, so I would tell you that answer is much more complex and it's not a simple answer, but I will absolutely send you the rubric that the graders use. For brevity, I took that slide out of this presentation,
Okay.
but I will provide it to you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Yarbrough and then Commissioner.
And I should probably know this, but it came to me to ask you, which comes first, the dollars or the requests for specific things to do? I'm
For
saying,
townships.
does the state of Michigan or state road department say, we have 50 million or $100 million for you? Or do you say, I need $100 million?
With the matching program,
Anything? How you get the money? How do they determine the amount of money?
Oh, how do we break up the $1.5 million?
I'm saying, how does the state decide that you get the money?
Oh, the state decides to fund us, that's in Act 51, and that is split up by mileage and population.
That's what I wondered, because so
Sure.
many things are population. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Act 51 is where a lot of the funding comes for any of our transportation
I know that.
infrastructure. Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely. Commissioner Harrison.
Two questions. One is, are the population numbers, are they by the latest census? Is that, who decides what the population is?
So we take the population numbers based on census data,
Okay,
but we have to do some additional math and exclude established villages and cities
okay.
because they're under a different, we don't own those roads.
And then do you accumulate or have a chart showing the Paisley ratings by township?
Yes, so if you go on the, on our website, sorry, I guess I'm drifting away from the microphone. So if you go on our website, you can go into a section called maps, and we actually have the entire county mapped out, and the roads are color coded red, green, and yellow to identify where it stands on the page. Thank you.
One more question, Commissioner Warfel.
I actually have two questions.
Mhm.
The first one being, back in August, I think it was, with admin, we sat down and we discussed the matching program
Mhm.
and where those dollars are, and we talked about increasing that because of the poorness of the roads in subdivisions. And it looks like we came out with the same 1.5, we didn't increase at all. So how did that work out? And then my second question, so you have both at the same time, is on the chloride treatments, you're gonna do 2 next year. Are they gonna start earlier?
Okay, so first question yes, we did discuss it. I didn't feel that we had come to a solid resolution on it, and thank you for bringing that up. That's one of the things that I forgot to mention during my presentation. So we changed the policy for township matching, and we've included subdivision. So if the townships would like us to resurface a subdivision within their area, those roads are now eligible for the township matching program. The pressure against adding to that matching program is based on those dollars have to come out of the primary road network. So there's a balance that needs to be struck, and I believe more discussion is warranted on that. The second, the chloride treatments. So we are targeting Memorial Day. I believe it's early, and then we are targeting, March, April. I don't want to tie it to a holiday. March, April for the first chloride treatment, and then we are targeting on or about July 4th for the second chloride treatment.
Okay. If there are any other questions, I believe that Mark and the administrator will make certain that they are available to answer any additional questions that may come up as you're reviewing the information we just digested. So again, Mark, thanks so much for your time today.
I think you might have a question from
Oh.
the public.
Public comments yet?
That's next.
That'll be next.
Sorry.
Okay, so Mark, if you would stick around, there's going to be a public comment related to roads. Thank you. We appreciate your time. All right, moving on. We are now at the point of public comment, so please feel free to come to the podium.
Thank you. Peter Clovis, 3190 Eman Road, great state of Hager, trustee. I was at the meeting with Mark and the road department on Tuesday. I'm here to help Mark. Let me just say that appreciate the work and the hard work you do. We gave the road department accolades. They deserve it. That said, I'm speaking specifically to the 1.5. So here's what I would like to ask, and this is my lobbying and advocacy for townships and also on behalf of Hager, that we raise that cap of 1.5. It came to our attention that during that meeting, the Act 51 funds had been increased to the county by $1 million. So it'd be my expectation that we move that into a place where we can leverage that and move that to $2 million by matching it with the townships. So therefore, if we can move that 1.5 cap to 2.5 caps, we can then allocate $5 million towards the local roads in terms of the matching program. That would be very helpful. I think that most people would be in agreement that we would like to move that Paisley rating from, yes, not only 25% at the, what was it, 25 or 22% on the poor, to not just a greater portion of fair, but we want to move everything into the better or the good. And therefore, if we could get that money moved that is in excess. And it also came, and this is why I'm helping Mark, because it came to my attention that Mark said that he was solely responsible for the allocation of that excess $1 million. I would like to make sure that he is got all the fortification from the townships to know that it should be raised and that you can help him with allocating that towards the local roads and the matching fund. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Clovis. Appreciate your comments. Are there any other public comments at this time?
Hola,
Hello.
Ezra Scott, New Buffalo Township. Good morning. I'm here to advocate for the county board. The requisition, I would like to have a discussion on the resolution this morning at the general meeting. In my opinion, the county board's first responsibility to the residents of this county is fiscal responsibility. This county is hemorrhaging money, as evident by the 5 drains for over $200,000 of unbudgeted money. My question to you is, how long is this going to continue? What questions are you asking onto why this is being done? Emergencies are one thing. 5 drains in excess or a total of $200,000, 5 emergencies, really? I did not know that the county was in such bad shape. I'll discuss a lot of this more and subsections of the drain code that I'm sure none of us are familiar with. It's written in a way that we're not supposed to be familiar with it. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Mr. Scott, much appreciated. Moving on into the next part of the agenda, if there's no other public comments. Looking through. All right. We do have a scheduled closed session. This is a quarterly litigation review with our corporate counsel, which is allowed under MCL 15.268H. And so with that in consideration, I would entertain a motion to go into closed session
I'll make a motion to go into closed session.
under those stipulations. Is there support for that? Support by Commissioner Volrath. So Commissioner Pitchford was the motion, support by Commissioner Volrath. This requires a roll call, right? Yeah.
Curran,
Yes.
Freeland,
Yes.
Harrison,
Yes.